So I've gone to my tissue and I've done some blending here, and what I hope to show you as part of the last part of this process is that you can really push this by using your ebony graphite, your compressed charcoal, and your eraser also on the opposite end to pull out some of those light areas. But here again, you want to use that ebony and you want to save that compressed charcoal as well for the last step in the process when you know exactly where your darkest values are going to be. Because if you go to those darkest values too early again, you'll be making some really indelible decisions that you may or may not be happy with. So once again, I'm going to kind of lose some of these light areas by rubbing over them with the tissue, and then I can take my eraser and actually pull out the highlights. Where is that light source striking this urn? This side on the left is facing the light source, and so it's going to catch the most light. And we have a bit of a light area down here as well. Conversely, the areas that face away from the light source are going to be among your darkest areas. Here I'm kind of just beginning to use my ebony graphite, just beginning to use those materials that make your darker marks. So notice how dark this area is in here. We want to try to match that. This area right here is just about as dark. Again, facing away from the light source, that is where you get your darkest values. Of course, we see this shadow area right in here. So again, you want to push that. Let's go ahead into this compressed charcoal just a little bit. Not putting a lot of pressure on it at first. You notice how dark a mark that makes. And sort of blend that out. What's sort of cool is you can then take that dirty tissue and then, without even reaching for any drawing material, kind of decide where some of those maybe not quite as dark areas of shading are going to be, and create some shadows, lighter shadows there with using just the tissue with the residue from the compressed charcoal on there. Again, notice the shape of the cast shadow. And notice where all those dark areas are, and you can continue this process throughout the entire drawing.